simply knowing what you want is not enough. You have to subscribe to what it would feel like to have what you want already. And I understand that you may not have an idea of what it would be like to have what you want. Therefore, how could you subscribe to the feeling? The answer to that then is, okay, envision what it would be like. Yeah, you have no clue, but make it up. Make up the reality of what it would feel like to have the thing that you already want. And I'm going to very quickly cover the bases on how this works and give you a story on how I experienced it myself. But the big thing is the first part of that sentence is, it's not enough to know what you want. So when you know what you want, I mean, it can be really anything. I remember this commercial for Ally Bank. This guy was passing by another guy who was clipping his lawn, and the guy clipping his lawn says, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh, I'm getting ready for retirement." He said, "Oh, what number did you need to get to so you could retire?" And the guy clipping his lawn was, "Oh, this number." And like it shows a literal number at the on the fence. And then he says, "Well, what number did you need to get to retire?" And the guy passing by says, "I don't know, like a gajillion." He knows what he wants, but he doesn't specifically know exactly what he wants. So it's just the idea of retirement, but literally what would he need to actually get there? The answer to that is there's a specific number. And to do that, you have to then basically detail what it is that you want and then envision what it would be like to have that. And the one thing I will tell you is God, the universe, or whatever you call it, does not play. It doesn't joke around. It doesn't know if you're being facetious or sarcastic or not. And I want to add this in because what you want will definitely be influenced by how you act and what you say. And I just want to be very, very, I want to emphasize this. One time somebody asked me, "Hey, what are you doing for New Year's Eve?" And I cracked a joke and I said, "I'll be doing this and this." And we all laughed. We laughed really hard. We were like, "Oh, it's never going to happen." And that's what ended up happening. Literally, that's what ended up happening. It wasn't something that I wanted to happen. It wasn't something I planned on happening. It was simply what ended up happening. I had put the word out into the universe. I remember one time there was a friend of mine who said he was going to do a marathon. And then I said, "Well, I hope you make it the whole way and don't end up walking." And his partner at the time looked at me and was like, "Don't put that out into the universe." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." What ended up happening? He ended up walking. And I say that because we can sit here and say, "Oh, that was just coincidence." And one thing about this channel and the videos, at least the source of what you're hearing from me, I don't believe in coincidences. That's just me. You might believe differently, but I do believe that there is a fair amount of choice, agency, and autonomy that we have over our lives. Not necessarily institutionally, we'll get into that another time, and you might have seen a lot of that work earlier on this channel before this kind of turned into big feelings, but independently, we have the power to create a reality, create what reality we want for ourselves. And when we're doing that, you have to immerse yourself in the assumption of it already being there, living in the presumed end of it happening. And when you do that, it essentially puts you in a state of being, of already having it. So the universe or whatever is surrounding you has no choice but to give you the thing that you want. And the other thing I'll add to it is there wasn't for me personally, what I wanted for myself. It might have been, independent and selfish and self-centered and that off bat. But later on, as I began to grow and evolve along with the things that I want, I began to see that it was something that I wanted so I could serve others around me. And I think this is a very important part of you figuring out what you want and how you want to live with it. Is it serving other people? And if not, what does that look like? And if so, what does that look like? But for me, I am direly invested in what I want because I want to serve others. I have no interest in just having this for myself. Being alone and just yes, I have what I want and I'm all alone. I think of Jonah Hill in the end of Don't Look Up. Spoiler alert. The asteroid hits the Earth, the comet hits the Earth, and it blows up, but Jonah Hill, for some reason, winds up living, and the stinger at the end of the credits, he pokes out of some shrapnel, and he's on his phone, and he's like, yo, what's up, world? Hey, made it. Be sure to subscribe and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, nobody's alive. The planet is decimated. Like, you have nobody to actually invest in what it is that you're saying right now, because nobody cares, because everybody's dead. But I don't particularly, I don't have an interest in wanting what I want for the sake of it, just for myself. I want to be able to serve others, serve a family, serve a community, and that's just my interest. So to really get down to, you must feel what it would be like to have it already, the first step is through meditation or prayer, or just being by yourself, having some kind of quiet space. You have to be alone. You have to shut the door, as they say, to your mind, and just you have to be with yourself. Like, just envision what that feeling is like really get down to brass tacks on what that feeling is like and what that's going to be for you if you were to have the thing that you wanted, and sit with that. Maybe it changes. Maybe the thing that you want that you think you want isn't actually what you want. You might want something else. Who knows? All that being said, is sitting with yourself and getting quiet with yourself is going to be paramount, because it's going to give you the environment that necessitates figuring out what that looks like or feels like. The second thing is, and I go back to what I said earlier on, be deliberate with your words. Be extremely deliberate with your words. And we can't control our first thoughts, right? We can have some intrusive, wild, crazy thoughts or dreams or whatever, but you can possibly control the second or third thought. So be deliberate with your thoughts and words, because when you start to just take inventory of what you're saying and what you're thinking, great. Now you're getting down to, well, that's not serving me. Okay, that's really not serving. Why did I say that? And actually, we're going to give you four things, because I just thought of a fourth one that's really, really important. Meditating, being deliberate with your words and thoughts, and then once you're being deliberate with your words and thoughts, and you understand that the universe ain't playing around with you, whatever you put out there, it's going to be like, okay, cool, we're going to cook it up. Well, no, I didn't order that. No, well, you just said you wanted that. So, I mean, that's kind of literally what the universe is like. It's like, we're going to give you this thing anyways. You just said it. That's what you wanted, right? That's what you want. Did you not want that? Why'd you ask for it? And a lot of people get what they ask for, and they end up not wanting it. And it's this weird paradox where you find you're kind of working against yourself. So that's why being deliberate with your words and thoughts is so important. And then furthermore, once you start doing that, the third thing is I cannot emphasize this enough, y'all. For you, I want this for you more than a lot of things. Figure out the beliefs that serve you. Take the beliefs that do not serve you out of here. We have so many beliefs swirling around in our minds that do not serve us. And when we get down to brass tacks of, oh my goodness, this is not serving me, why am I still holding on to this? We have people around us that are literally there to keep us on that level. Like, and it's not any judgment or blame to them or you. It's new level, new devil. The whole point is that when you start to go to new spaces, you're going to see different people around you. That's just the way this thing works. And some people fall by the wayside, and that is what it is. Maybe you fell by the wayside because somebody else was leveling up. We don't know. But the point being is that that's the way that it works many, 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 many times. And if you're not aware of that, you can't really you can't change anything. You can't change your vibration if you're not aware of it. So really, really filter out what beliefs are serving you and what beliefs are not. I wouldn't get into this whole thing of, inventory of people just yet, because that thing just happens like on its own, regardless of what you're doing. So be very cognizant of what beliefs are serving you and what beliefs are not serving you. And the fourth thing, I think I totally forgot about it. It came to me for a little bit. I'll probably do a video on it some other time when I remember it, right after I click off on this camera. But those things, like living in the reality of what you want already, is so important. Finding a time and space for yourself to be quiet, being deliberate with your words and thoughts, and then getting rid of beliefs that no longer serve you. I cannot emphasize that last one is so gosh darn important, because I would line up before hurdle races and I would just think, yeah, this sounds about right that I'm gonna fall. And I was like, why do I believe that? This has no space here at all for me in any shape or form to serve me. So, I had to get to the core of why I was having those beliefs. Like that was just like, that was it. That was totally it. And once I got down to brass tacks of why I was having those beliefs and having like a core of self-sabotage, that got out of there. And I know that you can investigate. You're the best detective on your team, and you can figure out where those limiting beliefs are coming from. Every belief is limited, but where those beliefs that don't serve you are coming from. We can have limiting beliefs, but they can also serve us. Every belief has a limit, whether it's you want $200 million or $2 million. There's a limit, there's a cap on it, but at least you have a definitive detail of what that belief is. And what I want for you more than anything is to figure out those beliefs. And to do that, meditate or pray or get in a quiet space, be deliberate with your words and your thoughts. And then after that, like really understand how much power is in your words and thoughts. And then after that, really like write down the beliefs. Write this stuff down. That's the most important thing. And then you can start to construct living in the end already of the thing that you want. And it won't really matter whether it comes or not because you're already living with it. You're already in the space with it. So that's very quickly understanding that knowing what you want is not enough, but living in the end or living as if you already have it is going to change that space for you. All right, very quickly wanted to give that to you. I look forward to this working out for you. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get it, all right? We'll see you in the next one.